some of the cooperatives in Valenzuela approached me, and their certificate of tax exemption or certificate for tax exemption is under threat to be revoked because the BIR is requesting them to get the TIN numbers of all their members. And as we all know, cooperatives are designed to empower our poor constituents, especially the informal sector. So this created a lot of confusion and, of course, discouragement in our city Valenzuela, because the co-ops are also entitled to tax incentives, Mr. President. So if the BIR will revoke their tax incentives, that will be eventually passed on to their members. So, and if you have members who are fish vendors, who are market vendors, you cannot force them to get their TIN numbers because that's the nature of their work, the informal sector. You have mga nagtitinda ng fishball, alangan papapuntahin pa natin sila sa BIR to get their TIN. That's why they're called the informal sector. So may I ask the good sponsor, may I ask the authority through the good sponsor, what is their position in this matter? And
Yes.
indeed, what is the remedy for our co-ops, not only in Valenzuela, but nationwide? No? Because it's becoming bureaucratic for the co-ops themselves, and it's counterintuitive in terms of helping our informal sector be part of the cooperative sector.
Yes, thank you very much, Senator Gatchalian. We're in full agreement with you that the BIR requirement for a TIN number from every member of a co-op before they're able to renew their tax exemption and other regulatories is unfair and truly counter to all the cooperativism principles. It's only located in a BIR IRR. As I understand it, there is no law that mandates it. And as a matter of fact, we are in the process, following the President's SONA, of amending or attempting to suggest amendments to the cooperative code. And that is one of the prohibitions I would like to introduce because it's simply impossible in the hinterland, in the islands, in the far-flung, remote, and hard-to-reach areas to demand from fisher folk and marginal farmers TIN numbers. They are not covered by those TIN numbers, and they're not about to apply for them. So demanding that they have TIN numbers in order to avail of a tax exemption that's rightfully theirs is not fair. So we're in agreement with you, and I'm counting on your support for the amendments to the Co-op Code to prohibit such a requirement.
Thank you to the good sponsor, and thank you for expressing her support and her agreement to this issue. And also, I can see the authority nodding their heads, the leaders of the authority. May I ask the good sponsor, what is the authority doing in order to at least temporarily, in the absence of that law, temporarily address this issue? Because there are now a lot of co-ops under threat that their certificate of tax exemption will be revoked. And if that happens, they will be charging VAT to their members, they'll be paying income taxes, they'll be withholding taxes. What is the commission, or what is the authority doing in the meantime that the law is not there in order to settle this issue?
Yes, this has been a dispute that's been rankling between the BIR and the CDA for many years now. There have been repeated efforts to urge BIR to suspend this requirement, given that, as I said earlier, it's merely in an IRR and is not required by law. And in fact, falls is acts as an obstacle to the exercise of a legal right, which is the tax exemption. But BIR has again and again refused, saying that it will be in violation of their IRR. Perhaps it's really time that we amend the co-op code and at the same time speak to the BIR and make certain that this requirement, which is tantamount to a violation of the co-op code, be halted.
I agree with the good sponsor that you have co-ops you have co-ops that are, you have co-ops whose members are farmers, fisher folks, in the case of Valenzuela, fish bowl vendors, barbecue vendors, and we're trying to lure them to be part of the cooperative system so that they will be empowered, they will be trained to save, they'll be trained to go to the cooperatives and borrow instead of going to the 5, 6 offerers. But in doing so, we are now requiring them to go to the BIR to get their TIN numbers, which is not in their horizon because they're part of the informal sector. Kaya nga ho sila tinawag informal sector. So with that, Madam Sponsor, I'm joining you in your direction of amending the cooperative code, making it explicit that members, especially in the informal sector, should not be forced to get their TIN numbers. And co-op should continue to enjoy their incentives and their exemptions as designed because they are part of our anti-poor or our empowering vehicle, so that our constituents will be trained to save and trained to be part of the cooperative system. And in the meantime, we'll bring this up to the Senate, and allow me to suggest to the authority to submit to us their position papers, data, and everything, so that we can use those documents in our hearings, especially in conducting oversight hearings over this issue. So let me just request from the authority to submit to us the documents.
Yes, thank you very much. And Senator Gatchalian, on my part as chair of your committee on cooperatives, I will definitely send a letter attaching the transcript of this exchange to the BIR immediately after this plenary debate to make certain that they are aware of our objection to this undue burden they're imposing on potential cooperative members. Thank you.
May I ask how many cooperatives are now in this quandary, in this type of situation? Do we have that number? Aside from Valenzuela, I know we have a few there, no? But do we have that number from the authority? Just a ballpark figure if they have.
It would have to be said that most of the micro and small cooperatives would be in the same situation as the transport and street vendor co-ops of Valenzuela. I believe that 65% of our co-ops are micro co-ops. So that means that 65% of all 20,000 co-ops are in this bind. Small co-ops constitute 18% of the 20,000+. So we are really talking about 83% of all co-ops are in exactly the same position as your constituents in Valenzuela po.
Wow, that's a lot. So if we're talking about a universe of 20,000, we're talking about 80%. So we're talking about about 16, 17,000. Potentially, some of them are complaining to their representatives like me, but some of them choose to just probably deal with the BIR directly. So I thank the good sponsor and also being the chairperson of the Cooperatives Committee for agreeing with this representation that co-op should not be, the members of the co-op should not be forced to get TIN numbers, especially if they are part of the informal sector. This is a way of discouraging No, parang dinidiscourage natin yung informal sector to be part of the cooperative system. So we'll await for that oversight hearing to be conducted by the Cooperatives Committee of the Senate. And again, I thank the good sponsor for her response, and I thank the authority also for taking the cudgels of the cooperatives. Maraming salamat. Senator Risa is recognized for her interpellation. Wala na. Okay.
Salamat, Mr. President, at magandang gabi, good sponsor at authority. Bago po yung mga tanong ko, Mr. President, just a brief manifestation that I join Senator Gatchalian in his manifestation, as this issue has long been a problem amid the BIR and the CDA not being able to come to an agreement to resolve this concern on the certificate of tax exemption requirement. So for the record, Mr. President. So Mr. President, Madam Chair, for more than 100 years, cooperatives in the Philippines have proven to be a vital instrument for social change and one of the contributors to our national development. Our cooperative sector, according to BRMO, sa kabuuan, ay mayroong lampas kalahating trilyong pisong ari-arian, 719 billion pesos to be exact, at may 12.4 milyong kamay-ari, na kabilang sa, sinabi na nga po, lampas 20,000 na kooperatiba sa bansa. Hindi aabot sa ganitong katayuan o status ang ating kooperatiba kung hindi isinasabuhay ang mga prinsipyo ng kooperatibismo, kusang loob at bukas na pagsapi, demokratikong pangkasapi ang pamamahala, pangkabuhayang partisipasyon ng mga kasapi, patuloy na edukasyon, pagsasanay at impormasyon, autonomiya at kasarinlan, pagtutulungan ng mga kooperatiba at pagpapahalaga sa pamayanan, na dapat ay patuloy nating gabay sa pagtataguyod ng interes at kagalingan ng kooperatiba sa bansa. As former Vice Chair of the Senate Committee on Cooperatives, I recall when the CDA Charter was passed into law 5 years ago. Our then committee chair, Senator Mig Zubiri, expressed that the intent of Republic Act 11364 was to strengthen CDA to be more responsive to the needs of the sector, further promote cooperativism, open the lines of communications with the sector, and address issues and challenges that stunt the development and progress of cooperatives in the country. That is why, Mr. President, Madam Chair, it is alarming, disheartening, and disappointing to hear allegations that the incumbent officials of the Cooperative Development Authority are overreaching their mandates and exercising undue influence and interference that causes distrust and division among cooperatives. One of the allegations that reached my office is the case of the Philippine Chamber of Cooperatives, or Co-op Chamber, a registered non-stock, non-profit organization incorporated and registered in the Securities and Exchange Commission. The Co-op Chamber, as far as I know, is composed of leaders and members of long-standing cooperatives in the country that bond together to organize themselves to aid in the development of the cooperative enterprise, advocate for co-op-friendly policies, and provide services to its partners. I'm aware that the good sponsor and the Senate Committee on Cooperatives are aware of the existence of said group as they actively engage in the committee's work on the amendments to the Philippine Cooperative Code and other legislative agenda. Pwede po bang magtanong, Mr. President, Madam Chair, kung bakit yung administrador ng CDA ay nagbanta na maghain ng criminal case laban sa said chamber? Bakit nag-issue ang CDA ng advisory laban sa chamber? Ano ang mga grounds at ano ang due diligence na ginawa ng CDA para i-establish ang di umanong criminal liabilities ng Co-op Chamber, good sponsor?
Yes. According to the CDA, what occurred was that the Philippine Chamber of Cooperatives registered at the SEC, but never did they register at the CDA. As a result, the CDA, determining that they were not acting as a co-op, but rather as a corporation, advised the SEC of the situation and told them no longer to allow this corporation to use the word co-op in their name. So that is where it stands at the moment. I believe there are no further lawsuits or actions since that advisory. But in the meantime, it is your committee's position as the chair of the Committee on Co-ops that perhaps we should reconsider this position and allow farmers associations, cooperatives, and other agrupations to borrow the term co-op more liberally, provided they are in fact upholding the principles of cooperativism.
Maraming salamat para dyan, good sponsor. Pati dun sa sinabi ng good sponsor na i-reconsider natin yung ganitong posisyon para nga payagan na mahiram, maggamit ng ganitong mga aggregation, ganitong chamber, ganitong organisasyon ng mga kooperatiba na gamitin, hiramin yung salitang co-op. Actually, good sponsor, may tanong ako kasunod. Ang kasunod na tanong ko po ay particular dun sa sinabi ng good sponsor. Kung ano sana ang pwede nating i-reconsider na ugali at pag-uugali tungkol dun sa paggamit ng salitang kooperatiba. I'm relieved to hear, good sponsor, na sa pagkaalam ng good sponsor, wala namang lawsuit. Bagamat ibinanta ito, ay mukhang walang nakaambang lawsuit at walang inihain at hari nawa walang ihahain. Dahil ako rin po on its face, parang ang hirap makita na kung ano yung sinasabing criminal liabilities ng co-op chamber. At additionally, i-google lang kung sino yung co-op chamber at sino ang mga nasa likod nito, ang dali pong i-establish ang credibility ng nasabing organisasyon. And rest assured, good sponsor, that this representation will closely monitor the hoped-for resolution of this situation and also ask the authority to provide this representation with updates on this matter. Pangalawa po, good
Yes,
sponsor.
tama
Yes,
po.
Mr.
Dahil
President.
ito ay korporasyon na ang may-ari ay mga co-op. Kaya kung tutuusin at tutugisin ang tinatawag na identity niya bilang korporasyon, co-op rin pala ang babagsakan. Ngunit nga lang, ayaw nila mag-register sa CDA. Kaya ang pakiwari ng CDA, ayaw naman nila maging co-op. Bakit hindi sila mag-register bilang tertiary? Kumbaga, kung may primary co-op, yung federasyon o yung union, secondary co-op, kung sila co-op na rin, di pwede silang maging first tertiary or isa pang umbrella organization. Bakit hindi sila mag-register? Kasi ang nangyari din sa mga nakalipas na panahon, ginagamit ang tax exemption na hinahandog sa mga kooperatiba, itong 10 million tax exempt, kaya't sinasamantala rin ito ng ibang mga korporasyon na maliwanag naman hindi kooperatiba at hindi pag-aari ng miyembro, kaya't nag-iingat rin ang CDA at kinukumbida silang lahat na sana magrehistro na sa CDA na matapos na ang usapin.
Maraming salamat para doon, good sponsor. Dahil tinutuloy po ng good sponsor, yung in the spirit of yung sinabi nila kaninang reconsideration, ano yung mga punto o paksa o kaisipan na pwedeng isama sa reconsideration na iyan. Siguro, kung magsisimula o magpapatuloy yung ganyang proseso, pwedeng i-unpack yung iba't ibang factors na nire-raise din ng good sponsor kasama nitong representasyon. Halimbawa, yung di umanong alok ng CDA na bakit hindi mag-register kahit bilang tertiary cooperative? Pwede sigurong itanong sa proseso iyon, ang Philippine Chamber of Cooperatives ba o yung Co-op Chamber ay tinuturing ang sarili nila bilang isang kooperatiba o chamber ng mga kooperatiba? And therefore, tama po bang anyayahan silang mag-register bilang tertiary co-op sa halip na sila ay at nakarehistro na sa SEC, chamber ng mga kooperatiba. Yung issue din po, maigi po at nagsaanib po yung naunang issue na ni-raise ng ating presiding officer na aking sinuportahan ang kanilang posisyon dyan. Kaugnay din itong tanong ko tungkol sa bakit nga ba tila tinugis ang co-op chamber dito sa usapin ng tax exemption. At pwede sigurong alamin dun sa reconsideration process, bakit po ba ang co-op chamber ba ay gustong pakinabangan yung tax exemption ng mga kooperatiba? So kapag dumaan po dyan sa ganyang process ng reconsideration, to borrow the term of the good sponsor, pwede po nating isurface ano ba talaga ang facts tungkol sa bawat isyung ito mula sa pananaw ng chamber, mula sa pananaw din ng CDA at sino pang ibang stakeholders. Good sponsor, I would understand and respect the authorities of the CDA when it comes to cooperatives development and its power to launch, indeed, a motu proprio investigation, but to assail the juridical personality of an organization under a different regulatory agency is another matter. CDA invoked Article 140 of RA 9520, which prohibits the use of the words cooperative, co-op, co-op na may hyphen, or co-op na nagsisimula sa letrang K in their business names unless they are duly registered as a cooperative. So, in the spirit of yung pinagpasalamat kong sinabi ng good sponsor kanina na i-reconsider yung hindi pagpayag na gamitin ng korporasyon yung salitang co-op sa pangalan nila, bakit po kaya good sponsor? Ilang entities ba ang gumagamit ng mga salitang ito? Cooperative, co-op, co-op na may hyphen o co-op na letrang K sa mga pangalan nilang rehistrado sa SEC o sa DTI o kahit sa COMELEC, kahit pa sa National Electrification Administration sa kaso ng mga electric co-ops at sa kahit ano pang ibang ahensya. May listahan ba ang CDA o nag-random sampling ng masasampulan ng bantang kaso o investigasyon? Sa bilang na ito, ilang motu proprio investigation ang kinondukta ng CDA para mag-establish ng paglabag sa Article 140. May established at harmonized policy ba na pinagbabawal ang ibang regulatory agencies na mag-aproba ng entities na dala yung mga salitang cooperative, co-op, co-op na may hyphen o co-op na letrang K? At hanggang sa anong extent ang CDA may eksklusibong jurisdiction sa usaping ito, good sponsor?
Ang batas ay maliwanag at sinusundan lang nila yung batas. Kaya yun nga, ang sinasabi natin sana maamyendahan dahil nga nakikita natin nagkakaproblema. Doon sa ating batas, talagang pinagbabawal yung paggamit ng mga pangalan na ito na patungkol sa pagiging kooperatiba samantalang korporasyon, partnership, o di kaya kinukubli lamang ang identidad ng mga sosyo. Samantalang ang nais pala gamitin yung tax exemption o linlangin yung mga miyembro at ang publiko. Ang batas ay maliwanag, iisa lang ang exempted. Ito yung electric co-ops na pwedeng gamitin yung cooperative mismo at yung cooperative na pangalan kahit hindi sila tumatalima eksakto doon sa pagiging kooperatiba. At yun nga, yung membership, pati yung kanilang pagmi-meeting 2 beses ang taon, iba kasi yung sa electric co-ops. At isa pang rinerekomenda ko sana sa pag-amyenda, itong transport co-ops, kasi naiba sila dun sa pangkaraniwang co-op dahil ngayon talagang binubuo natin ang iba't ibang transport co-op, may higit 1,000 na, and sila ang magiging daan para sa PUV modernization. Pero sumasailalim sila sa OTC or Office of Transport Co-op sa ilalim ng DOTR. So, ayan na naman yung katanungan, ang CDA ang magre-rehistro, pero ang magmo-monitor at magre-regulate ay yung DOTR OTC naman. Kaya ito yung mga lumalabas ng mga iba't ibang problema at detalye na kailangan talagang pag-aralan natin maigi kung ano ba talaga ang dapat nating gawin. Para sa akin, yung transport co-op, naiiba din eh. Kaya dapat isama rin sa electric co-ops at ma-exempt ng tuluyan.
Maraming salamat, good sponsor. Mukhang mahihinog nga yung reconsideration process as such dun nga sa posibleng pag-amyenda ng batas. Pero ngayon pa lang, dahil nagkaroon nga ng ganitong tensionado o conflictual na situation, siguro mabunga rin establish yung facts talaga dun sa mga facts na ine-enumerate ng CDA. At let's turn the table din, a good sponsor. What if the CDA, in the course of its action, causes grave, irreparable damage or injury or reputational loss to the entity it has accused? What will be the remedy available to the chamber, a good sponsor?
Well, ang alam ko, may penalties kapag ginamit yung pangalan o yung iba't ibang permutation itong salitang co-op. So, talagang may penalty yan at nafa-fine sila. Pero yung causing damage, siguro aabutin na ng kaso yan. Although may quasi-judicial din ng CDA, pwede ring pag-usapan yan at ipasok sa mga kaso na pwedeng hatulan.
Salamat, good sponsor. Bagamat ang itinanong ko ay kung ang CDA ay dahil sa mga pagkilos niya ay siya ang makapag-cause ng damage o injury or reputational loss, kung ano yung remedy available dun sa co-op chamber of a good sponsor.
Sa palagay ko, wala pa naman naghahabla o nagsasalita ng ganon, so wala pa namang pangyayaring ganon.
Okay. At hari nawa, ma-preempt dun sa reconsideration process sa pagitan ng dalawang panig. And just for the record, good sponsor, simple search sa SEC, daan-daan ang gumagamit ng cooperatives and its derivatives. Good
Perhaps
sponsor.
the clarification can also be made that there are co-ops no longer in good standing that are listed in the website of the CDA. To the extent that that causes damage to reputation and moral damage, perhaps that could be said. But given that the regulatory agency for cooperatives is CDA, it's within their mandate. Ang problema, itong chamber na hindi naman nagrehistro bilang co-op, talagang hindi sumasa-ilalim sa CDA.
Salamat, good sponsor. And, I lost my train of thought. Tungkol sa, may importanteng sinabi yung good sponsor ngayon lang na meron akong naisip pero nalimutan po. Sana maalala ko mamaya bago matapos yung aking interpelasyon ngayong gabi. Gusto ko lang ulitin na in very good standing ang kredibilidad nitong chamber at pati yung mga miyembrong kooperatiba nila. And Mr. President, Madam Chair, dahil mukhang generic na ang salitang cooperative o co-op sa mga entities, it would be an exercise in futility to waste CDA resources running after each one of them. Kaya nga sa panukalang pagbabago sa Philippine Cooperative Code, the proposal is very clear. Quote, organizations registered with other government agencies are allowed to retain the word cooperative in their registered name, provided. So kahit sa intention, good sponsor, nandito na ito, provided that these organizations shall not be entitled to the benefits and privileges under the code. So kumbaga, may intention na to act in good faith. For the record, Madam Chair, Mr. President. Bago po ako dumako sa ibang
Kami ang
paksa,
sang-ayon
Mr.
sa
President.
pagluluwag ng iba't ibang mga regulasyon, pero hindi natin pwedeng talikuran ang utos ng ating batas na ang CDA ang siyang mangangasiwa ng iba't ibang mga kooperatiba. Dahil alam naman natin, marami rin nagsasamantala ng kooperatiba, ginagamit yung mga sosyo. Ilang beses na nangyari yan, pinapapirma yung mga sosyo na walang kamuang-muang. Sa amin, halimbawa, ilang beses na at naimbestiga ng Senado, sa sibuyas hanggang sa bawang, ginamit yung mga sosyo pumirma. At wala naman silang kamalay-malay, pero ginamit yung pangalan na kooperatiba. Kaya ako, kabado rin ako, masyadong buksan at kinakailangan magkaroon rin tayo ng batas na talagang sinasaayos ang pagtatakbo ng mga iba't ibang co-op. Kilala ko rin yung chamber.
Opo,
Namit
good
ko na
sponsor.
marami sa kanila, taga Cagayan de Oro, yung Climbs at yung iba't iba pang grupo. Kilala rin natin sila at hindi natin alam at siguro kailangan na makipagpulong para matuklasan kung ano nga yung dahilan ng alitan nila sa CDA.
Maraming salamat, good sponsor, para din dun sa pagsuporta sa ganyang klaseng proseso. Reconsider at saka yung magpulong. At dahil, yes? Actually nga po, salamat para doon, Mr. President, at sa good minority leader. Actually, pag tiningnan po natin, may mga grupo sa loob ng co-op chamber na predate or antedate the existence of the CDA. Kaya well and long established yung kredibilidad nila na tumatalima sa batas, hindi mapagsamantala, kundi tumutupad sa kalikasan ng kooperatiba. At siguradong kapag nagkaroon ng ganyang proseso ng pulong o reconsideration, sila ay aktibong lalahok. Yes, Mr. President, I think the good minority leader would like to interject.
Mr. President, just an interjection kasi may pagkausaping legal, di ba? May pagkausaping legal. Siguro tama yung instruction ng batas, bawal gamitin ng co-op. Siguro pero tignan din natin yung paggamit ng salitang cooperative. If you're clearly a chamber of cooperatives. So I don't think that should be a violation of the law unless you tell us, are they trying to avail of the benefits of a cooperative?
No, what the CDA is simply saying, minority leader, is that they never registered under the CDA and
Correct.
hence cannot be considered a cooperative
Correct,
under the
yes.
CDA rules.
Right. Tama. And then, do they want to be treated like a cooperative by availing of incentives of a cooperative?
Wala naman po.
So if
Kaya
not,
nga,
there is,
nag-apply sila sa SEC Kaya ang pagkaintindi ng lahat, korporasyon sila, hindi co-op.
Kaya nga, yung gamit kasi ng word na cooperative sa pangalan nila is a chamber. They're chamber of of cooperative. So, they're not really... So,
The argument can be made that chambers are in fact non-profit corporations
Correct.
and not co-ops at all.
So, what is the issue? Is the issue because there's the use of the word co-op in a name of a juridical entity and they are not registering with CDA? Is that the issue?
That appears to be the issue, yes po.
CDA, let's use common sense. Come on. Let us use common sense. Siguro we will force a juridical entity to register with us if it is acting like a co-op, availing of incentives of a co-op, or quacking like a co-op. That would be all, Mr. President.
Which
Salamat,
is why,
Mr. President, for
kaya
that
sinasabi
humorous
ko,
and very illuminating interjection.
pero
Good sponsor.
yun ang dahilan din kung bakit sinasabi ko kailangan amyendahan nga. Kasi yung pagkasulat ng ating batas, ang liwaliwanag na bawal. Eh dapat siguro hindi ganun ka-stricto o kaliwanag. Kasi nga, kung hindi naman sinasamantala yung pribilehyo, bakit naman paparusahan?
Kaya Mr. President, that's why I'm making this interjection kasi may usaping legal. Sometimes, pwede ka mag-violate sa letter of the law. Kasi pagbasa ninyo, uy, bawal gamitin cooperative. But look at the spirit.
The spirit,
Bakit?
of course.
Come on, you know the spirit. Alam naman ninyo yan.
Salamat muli, Mr. President, at maraming salamat muli, good minority leader. In fact, the operative word in the name Chamber of Cooperatives is not cooperatives, it's chamber. Opo. So common sense talaga po and good faith. Bago ko iwan itong tanong na ito, good sponsor, follow-up question lamang. Ang CDA officials po ba aware sa identity ng mga tao sa likod ng co-op chamber? Aware po ba sila na yung ilang opisyal ng CDA may mga personal disagreement sa ilang pinuno ng chamber? At ang mga tao ba sa likod ng chamber, hindi ba sila persons in good standing, good sponsor?
Palibasa hindi sila sumailalim sa CDA, hindi kilala ng CDA ayon sa kanila.
Salamat, good sponsor. But I would have hoped for a little more candor mula po sa CDA officials dahil paano namang hindi nila kilala dahil lamang hindi sumailalim, parang napaka-formalistic naman po nung kanilang pagsagot. Paano hindi nila kilala yung identity ng mga tao sa likod ng co-op chamber? Sa pagkaalam ko po, personal knowledge din po ng representasyong ito, meron na nga pong personal disagreements sa pagitan ng ilang pinuno ng chamber at ilang opisyal ng CDA. So, sige, aminin man nila o hindi na magkakakilala yung ilan sa kanila, hindi ba persons in good standing yung mga tao sa likod ng chamber, good sponsor?
Ang sabi nila, palibasa hindi naman nagpakita sa CDA, hindi naman nagpakilala sa anumang opisina o kanino mga opisyal, talagang hindi daw nila kilala.
Sige
At
po,
hindi
good
nila
sponsor.
pilit na inaalam kasi hindi naman pumunta o lumapit na magpatulong.
Sige, good sponsor. Dadako na ako sa ibang paksa. I just regret na hanggang sa katapusan ng tanong na ito, wala pong pinapakitang candor or a little more honesty po. Dahil nga, gaya ng pinag-usapan natin kasama ng minority leader kanina, yung ibang miyembro po ng Chamber of Co-ops ay napakatagal na po sa kilusan ng kooperativismo at nadatnan pa nila yung pagpapanganak natin sa CDA. So talagang hirap akong maniwala hindi sila magkakilala. In any case, dako na ako sa ibang paksa ko, good sponsor. Under RA 11535, all provincial, city, and municipal governments are directed to have a cooperative development officer. Pwede po bang humingi ng update sa CDA sa status ng implementasyon nitong batas? Nagpo-progreso po ba tayo? At anong mga inisyatiba ang isinasagawa ng CDA para siguruhin yung pagtupad sa mandatong ito? May programa at pondo ba ang CDA para sa mga local co-op development officer? May partnership agreement ba sa pagitan ng CDA at DILG sa usaping ito? At for the record, baka naman pati ang liga ng mga cooperative development officers na matagal na nating nakakatrabaho dito sa Senado ay pagbabantaan pa ng CDA na motu proprio investigation at criminal case dahil lang may cooperative sa pangalan nila, good sponsor.
Yes, tama. Mataas naman ang compliance sa awa ng Diyos kasi maganda naman yung pagkasulat natin, kung maalala ninyo.
Opo,
Eh sinabi
good
natin,
sponsor.
kasi umaangal nun yung mga LGU na wala na daw silang pamplantilla. So ginawa natin, kahit ex officio lang, kinakailangan mag-assign ng talagang co-op development officer. Kung kaya't nasa 83% ang compliance sa probinsya, sa highly urbanized, nasa 88%. Tapos yung individual cities and municipalities, yun ang medyo mababa, pero tinutulak pa rin sa 67%. So maganda naman ang pagsusunod at pag-implementa ng batas.
Salamat, good sponsor. At may pondo po ba ang CDA para sa pagpapatuloy ng programang ito? At may partnership ba sila sa DILG sa usaping ito? O partnership agreement pala, good sponsor?
Yes, walang hiwalay na pondo o line item ang CDA, subalit kapag pupunta sa isang lugar at tatawag ng capability building, workshop, training, o kaya may pulong-pulong pagkonsulta sa iba't ibang bagay, talagang tinatawagan nila pati yung mga municipal and other officers na talagang nakatutok sa kooperatibang lokal.
Salamat po, good sponsor. At follow-up lang, may paglabag ba sa batas? Nakikita ang CDA doon sa may liga ng mga cooperative development officers dahil lang ginagamit ang salitang cooperative?
Yes,
talaga.
I think it's more or less in their understanding a liga which is informal, and there doesn't seem to be any violation in as much as they aren't registered at all.
Okay, good sponsor. Buti na lang hindi sila registered. Naligtas ang CDA sa tanong ko, good sponsor. Pero I think yung parehong liberality nila sa hindi pagpuna o presume ng bad faith sa isang organisasyon na gumagamit ng salitang cooperative sa pangalan nila, pero ang operative term sa pangalan ay liga. Sayang at hindi nila naisip sa simula ibigay ito sa isang grupo na nagngangalang chamber, good sponsor. So kung I would just like to request a full listing of established LCDOs by LGU, modalities for the creation of the LCDOs, and the
Anong
directory.
ibig sabihin po ng modalities? Hindi nila masyado naintindihan. Ibibigay lang namin yung LGU saka yung tao. Yung pangalan. Yun lang, di ba? Kasi ganun lang naman eh.
Yes, good sponsor. And additionally, kung ang LCDOs ay yung officers lang mismo or nag-merge ba across LGUs? Okay. Kung nag-merge yung mga local co-op development officers among offices, so kumbaga anong form
Ang ibig mo
ang
sabihin, ang
LCDOs?
ibig ba niyo sabihin kung full-time siya na co-op officer o ex-officio lang at may iba pang item? Yun
Ganun
ba
po,
yun?
good sponsor.
Kasi hindi ko masyadong naintindihan
Yes,
eh.
ganun po,
Oo,
good
kasi
sponsor.
sa maraming munisipyo, lalo na yung maliliit, yung 4 to 6 class, talagang walang hiwalay na co-op officer. Meron siyang ibang trabaho, kung MPDO siya, limbawa, pwede rin siya co-op officer. O kung peso siya, dagdag trabaho lang to.
Opo. So kung pati po yun, yun na nga po, yung modalities of compliance dun sa batas na magkaroon ng LCDO, whether yun po yung solong mandato niya or multitasking siya para sa LGU, pati po action plans ng CDA para sa pagpapalakas ng mga LCDO natin. Good sponsor, kung maaring humingi ng ganong listahan.
Yes, they will comply.
Salamat, good sponsor.
Tuloy-tuloy naman ang pagte-training at saka yung pag-iikot. Tumaas nga yung kanilang transportation bill para sa 2025 para puspusang ikutin yung mga co-op natin at yung mga co-op officer.
Salamat po. May pondo naman para dun sa transportation.
Talagang naglagay sila ng mas malaki para sa transport, para nga mag-ikot at mag-comply sa kinakailangan, pati na rin yung specialization. Kasi merong mandato ngayon na kinakailangan magkaroon ng specialists. So, kinakailangan kumuha ng mga consultant, tapos yung iba't ibang competencies, for example, yung quasi-judicial and regulatory functions, yung inspection functions, and all these other requirements that will have training components.
Salamat, good sponsor. Sa susunod ko pong tanong, the CDA is entrusted with overseeing the formation of a national alliance of cooperatives, sectoral apex organizations, and regional clustered organizations. Pwede po bang makahingi ng update sa status ng said formations, good sponsor?
Yes, 3 years ago, a National Alliance of Co-ops was formed.
Okay, salamat, good
At
sponsor.
ang pagkaalam
Yes.
ko, napaka-active nila kasi buong buwan ng Oktubre, busy-busy po ako kaka-attend ng kanilang iba't ibang pagtitipon sa buong bansa. Masaya sila at masigla at laging nagkakaisa.
Hari nawa, mas magkatotoo po 'yon pati sa iba't ibang forma ng mga organisasyon na nagsusulong ng kooperativismo. And as far as this representation is concerned, the idea of RCOs, SAOs, and the NAC is to be consultative mechanisms for and among the cooperatives.
Parati
Again,
silang
yes, good
parati
sponsor.
silang nasa Senate at
Yes.
nakikilahok sa lahat ng hearing at marami silang opinion, talagang buong sigla sila pumupunta rito sa Senado sa ating mga iba't ibang hearing.
Opo.
Masaya nga eh.
Mm-mm. Naalala ko po yun at nasasaksihan hanggang ngayon, good sponsor. At yun na nga po, when I was Vice Chair of the Senate Committee on Cooperatives, one of the discussion points was that these formations, mula sa RCOs hanggang NACs, ay dapat at marapat na self-organized by the cooperatives themselves in line with the principles of autonomy and independence of cooperatives. Mari po bang malaman yung extent ng participation, so pakikilahok at papel ng CDA sa paglikha nitong formation? Ano yung magiging policy thrust at direksyon sa pagmentena nitong mga organisasyong ito sa susunod na taon at mga taong darating? Kasama ba dyan sa policy thrust at direksyon na iyan ng NAC, SAO at RCOs ang pagsuporta sa pag-oorganisa at pagpapalakas ng mga party list groups para sa kooperatiba? What's the policy of CDA for its officers and management when it comes to engaging with party list groups and formations? Good
Teka,
sponsor.
doon muna tayo sa unang sinasabi ninyo,
Opo.
yung National Alliance, ang papel ng CDA ay simpleng-simple lang at tumalima sa batas na nagsasaad na kailangan mabuo yung regional clusters. So nung nabuo na yung regional cluster organizations, binitawan na nila kasi sila na ang naghalal ng kanilang mga opisyal, sila na rin ang nagtatag ng kanilang National Alliance. Yun. Pero yung sa party list, wala pa kami doon. Ano na nga ba yung tanong?
Ang tanong po ay, ano ba ang polisiya ng CDA para sa mga opisyal at management nila pagdating sa pag-engage sa party list groups and formations? At kung kasama ba sa policy thrusts at direksyon kaugnay ng NAC, SAO at RCOs ang pagsuporta sa pag-oorganisa at pagpapalakas ng mga party list groups para sa kooperatiba?
Ang CDA kailanman hindi nakikialam sa politika at yung mga party list na tumatayong kinatawan ng kooperatiba ay walang kinalaman sa pagtatakbo ng CDA.
Okay. Salamat, good sponsor. And I really hope that the board, administrators, and management of the CDA will be mindful when it comes to their partisan politics and engagement so as not to be negatively perceived to be divisive and biased to any particular group. I would also,
Ang nakikita
yes,
ko
good
po, ay
sponsor.
sorry.
Oh, yes,
Ang
Mr.
nakikita
President.
ko po talagang nagbabasagan na nga ng ulo yung dalawa ko minsan eh.
Yung alin
Baliktad
po?
ang nangyayari eh.
Nagbabasagan ng ulo ang alin po, good sponsor?
Yung ibang kinatawan at yung ibang kinatawan ng party list, hindi sang-ayon sa sinasabi ng CDA at yung CDA naman hindi rin sumusunod sa sinasabi ng ibang party list. Marites na po yun, pero talagang totoo yun.
Salamat, good sponsor. I would also like to request the submission of documents pertaining to policy guidelines in the conduct of NAC, SAO, and RCOs, documentation of proceedings, directory of attendees, and plans of action of the CDA for the maintenance of these formations, and the funding required for the maintenance and operations of these formations, good sponsor.
Yes, certainly. To the
Maraming
best of
salamat.
our ability, although tulad ng sinabi kanina, wala namang hiwalay na line item at wala namang binibiyak na mga activity na isa-isa. Pero sigurado ako na meron naman silang mga plano tungkol dyan.
Salamat, good sponsor.
Pero hindi mo na kasi kailangan itulak yung mga kooperatiba. Sila mismo ay talagang maliksi at maligayang nagtitipon at nagpupulong-pulong, nagkakaisa at pinag-uusapan. Halimbawa, itong issue nga ng pag-aamyenda, nako talaga maingay sila dyan at iba-iba yung opinion, hindi nagkakaisa. At matutuwa ka, buhay na buhay yung debate.
Maraming salamat, good sponsor. Huling tanong ko para sa gabing ito, I'm aware that Section 20 of RA 11364 or the CDA Charter mandates the promotion and development of Agri-Agra and Aqua cooperatives as a priority program to ensure food security and reduce rural poverty. For this year, 2024, an amount of 204 million pesos is allocated to the acquisition and distribution of a combined 2-in-1 rice and corn mill for 170 cooperatives, amounting to 1.2 million pesos each. And an amount of 128 million pesos is allocated for startup livelihood capital assistance to 256 consumer, marketing, producers, and logistics CMPL cooperatives with a grant of 500,000 pesos each. Mari po bang malaman ang status ng implementasyon nitong proyekto? Briefly, pwede po bang makakuha ng tugon kung paano pinili ang mga benepisyaryo at ano ang aktual na presyo o cost ng 2-in-1 rice and corn mill pagkatapos ng bidding process? O may bidding process ba to begin with bago acquisition and distribution? Sino ang supplier ng nasabing machinery o equipment? At maaari po bang malaman yung dahilan bakit ang CDA ay directly engaged sa proyekto samantalang tedious task ito ng ibang mga qualified agencies ay pwedeng mag-perform tulad halimbawa ng DA, good sponsor?
Yes, Yes, natutuwa naman ako ibahagi at ipamalita na dalawa ang ginagawa ng ating CDA hinggil sa mga locally funded Agri-Agra projects. At isa, yung capability enhancement. Ito na yung mga workshop, training, iba't ibang educational effort. At nasa 82.7% na ang kanilang obligated amount. Ang mas mabagal, yung tinatawag na startup capital. Kasi eto naman, nagtatapos pa lamang yung mga workshop, tsaka lang ibibigay, kaya't nasa 38% pa lamang. So eto yung ating sitwasyon. At ang pinagbasehan ay yung mismong co-op code kung saan pwede talaga magbigay ng financial assistance. Ang issue tungkol sa financial assistance na pinagbabawal ay lumabas dito sa problema ng coconut fund. Yung coconut fund na trust fund, na yung DOJ naglabas ng opinion na hindi sila pwedeng tumulong sa financial assistance sa kapital, kundi ang kaya lang nilang gawin, mag-capability building. Kaya lang, maraming abogado na nagsasaad na hindi tama po yun dahil ang liwaliwanag naman na sa Section 4, yung paggamit ng pondo pwede basta sumusunod sa development plan. Doon naman sa development plan, maliwanag rin naman doon sa Chapter 6.2 na yung CDA can provide financial assistance for startup business and livelihood and seed capital. Pero ito yung problema nila at ito ay patungkol sa COCO Levy Fund.
Okay. Salamat, good sponsor. Paano po pinili yung mga benepisyaryo nung hindi masyado dun sa workshop training, pero dun sa startup capital na may, tama po ba, 38% ng accomplishment? Good sponsor.
Yes, etong startup capital, group consultation yan at ang namumuno niyan yung regional cluster organizations na pinag-usapan natin kanina hinggil sa National Alliance ng Co-op. Sila na rin ang pumipili ng mauunang bibigyan ng kapital.
At ano po ang actual cost ng 2-in-1 rice and corn meal? Pagkatapos ng bidding process ba or diretsong acquisition and distribution?
Yes, it's about 1 million, 1.2.
1.2 million. Bidded po ba ito o may ibang proseso para ma-acquire at distribute ang mga ito?
Public bidding po.
Public bidding. Salamat po. Sino pong naging supplier nung nasabing machinery? Sorry? Oo.
Sa central office daw, nagpabid sila at kung tama ang pagkaalala nila, Great Agriculture or something like that ang pangalan.
Great agriculture. At huli po, bagamat may mga pagpapayag sa cooperative code kaugnay ng financial assistance, bukod nga dun sa Coconut Levy Fund, dahil tedious din yung ganitong task, bakit hindi na lang pinagawa in partnership sa DA? Bakit CDA ang nag-directly engage sa proyektong ito, good sponsor?
Kasi yan ang isinaad sa batas na talagang ang PCA ang magbibigay ng listahan ng mga coconut farmers. Pagkatapos, ibubuo bilang co-op ng CDA. Parang tandem sila dyan eh. At saka yung CDA na ang magte-turn over ulit at sasabihin kung sino ang nagnanais or nangangailangan ng kapital.
Bagamat good sponsor, sabi na nga natin kanina, hindi pwedeng isama at hindi nga isinama yung mga maliliit na magnyunyog dito sa Startup Capital program. So, para dun sa mga pwedeng magkaroon ng Startup Capital program ang CDA sa mga co-op members, bakit hindi na lang pinagawa sa DA? Bakit directly nag-engage ang CDA sa proyektong ito? Good sponsor.
Ang mandate kasi ng CDA ay tulungan yung co-op at micro and small ang talagang tinututok nila. Wala naman sa listahan ng budget ng DA ang tulong at suporta sa co-op. Yung para sa co-op, dinalagay talaga ng DBM mismo sa CDA budget.
Well,
Kaya meron silang mga locally funded na iba't ibang mga modality din.
I understand, good sponsor. At wala man, i-double check ko na lang, pero wala man sa DA yung diretsong pagtulong sa kooperatiba. Pero pag ang CDA tumatayo para sa mga kooperatiba, lalo na nasa Agri-Aqua at saka Agri-Agra rather, ay kapag ang ipoprocure, ay ipamimigay bilang pang-start-up ng mga negosyo ay mga agricultural machinery. Kaya ako naisip na hindi kaya't mas naging madali sana na kasama na lang ng DA. In any case, good sponsor, maybe...
Palagay ko,
Yes, Mr.
makikita
President.
natin, may mga banggit may iba't ibang banggit ng agrikultura sa iba't ibang department. Kung tutuusin, hindi lang naman ang CDA ang may pondo para sa magsasaka sa kooperatiba, kundi pati na rin ang DAR, andyan din pati yung DSWD. Talagang bibigay pa sila ng cash for work sa mga imbakan ng tubig at may project lawa sila. Talagang kinikilala natin na napakaraming magsasaka at mangingisda na nangangailangan ng tulong ng pamahalaan.
Salamat, good sponsor. May we request, Mr. President, Madam Chair, to submit all the supporting documents about this project, from bidding documents, list of beneficiaries, audit report, and performance monitoring of the assistance given, for us to evaluate whether or not these projects are aligned with the mandate of the CDA and if these contribute to the objectives specified under Section 20 of RA 11364. Kung maaari po, good sponsor.
Yes, certainly.
Maraming salamat po. So huli na lang po, kaugnay pa rin nung aming maritesan kanina ng good sponsor at nitong representasyon. Well, allegedly, one of the board members,
Always.
ano po, yung, sorry, Mr. President?
Hindi, sinasagot ko lang yung makukulit kong staff. Inaantok na yata.
Medyo lumalalim na rin po ang gabi, good sponsor. Pero maritesan, allegedly, one of the board members is touted to be an aspiring nominee of a co-op party list, or was touted to be. But unfortunately, not registered or did not register sa COMELEC. Totoo po ba ito, good sponsor?
Wala akong alam dyan.
Yung CDA po, may alam po sila?
Wala rin daw.
Wala rin daw. Okay po. So, maraming salamat, Mr. President, at maraming salamat, good sponsor, for responding to my queries. Umaasa ako na patuloy na igagalang at itataguyod ng CDA at ng mga opisyal nito ang karapatan at kagalingan ng mga kooperatiba. At gaya ng madalas nating paalala sa kahit anong regulatory agencies, lalo sa mga agencies na may development functions, kayo po ang pinagkakatiwalaan ng mandato at responsibilidad bilang katuwang sa pagpapaunlad ng mga sektor na inyong pinaglilingkuran at inaasahan na lagit-lagi kayo ay magiging patas at makatarungan. Maraming salamat muli. Kaisa po ako ninyo na patuloy nating isusulong at palalakasin ang kooperatibismo sa bansa. Salamat, salamat po.
Yes, maraming salamat. At sa kabila ng masasamang balita, gusto ko lang ibida na may labis sa 100, 108 na ang ating mga co-op na bilyonaryo co-op. So, eto nga, at hinihikayat natin ang ating bilyonaryo co-ops na ampunin yung mga micro and small co-ops na siyang nagbubungkal ng lupa at nagbebenta ng pagkain. Sana sila ang tumulong kasi marami silang pera pang investment. Sana mag-invest din sila ng kapraso para sa maliliit. Ikalawa, yung magandang balita ko, nakita ko lang si Senator Coco, ang ating minority leader. Nais ko rin na ipagmalaki na nasa 60% na yung CDA tower building. So, mukhang hindi na kita pinasasalita.
Binasa na naman yung, she read my mind again, Mr. President.
I'm not allowing you
the
to talk
minority leader is
anymore,
recognized.
minority leader.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you to our sponsor for having answered a question I was only thinking about, Mr. President. Yeah. So 60% na pala yung ano natin, yung building po na pinapagawa ninyo. Anyway, at any rate, we will make this quick, Mr. President, about the budget lang. Is it correct that our committee report increases the budget of the CDA by 300 million?
Yes, that is
Yes.
correct.
Saan po, ano po ang ating dinagdagan or mayroon ba tayong dinagdag na proyekto or programa?
Yes, as mentioned during the sponsorship, it is an increase of 300 million for financial assistance to be provided the food and agriculture co-ops, particularly those that are micro and small. And secondly, the brand new transport co-ops that have been registered with both the CDA and the DOTR-OTC.
So the 300 million will be in the nature of financial assistance.
That's correct. We
So-
hope that this will be more developmental in as much as we do not want the CDA to be confined to education and workshops and training.
Yung in the earlier interpellation of Senator Risa Ontiveros, she mentioned two locally funded projects. Yung isa doon is capital assistance. This is not, yung financial assistance is not in the same nature as that capital assistance. Yung CPML, Cooperative Startup Capital Assistance, that's not in the same nature. Iba, it's not, okay.
Yes, both are in fact the provision of capital, but the micro and small cooperatives livelihood startup is pegged at 250,000 to 400,000. Whereas in the case of the transport co-ops and the agricultural co-ops, the amounts can vary. They can be as small as 50 to 100,000. They can be much larger as the need arises.
So financial assistance in the form of a grant from the CDA.
Yes, that's correct.
So-
Right now, it's
yes,
perceived to
so-
be a grant.
Yeah, it's a
Although
grant,
the
okay.
IRR and the modes have not yet been established.
For 2024 GAA, there is no such item in your budget. The giving of financial assistance or grants, do you have? Yes, ito na nga yun. Sinasabi ko nga, ito yung...
Yes, that
ito ba
was-
yung dalawa, yung capability enhancement of micro agricultural cooperatives through cooperative development project?
Yes.
Is that a financial assistance
Yes,
program, project?
that is
Yes.
financial
Yung isa,
assistance.
yung micro and small consumers, marketing producers, and logistics cooperative startup capital assistance.
Startup capital
Is that
also.
also financial assistance?
That is financial assistance. So perhaps
Yes,
to
okay.
tidy up the budget, the 300 million can also fall under the same locally funded.
But what will be the entry now? Kasi sa NEP, ito lang kasi ma'am, talagang nakita ko rin naman ito, sa NEP, discontinued yung dalawa eh. Sa NEP, right? Discontinued yung dalawa.
Yes.
Yes, in the
I
NEP
see.
2025,
In
it's
the NEP
the two-
2025, there's no locally funded.
Yes.
No capital startup.
Yes.
No provision of any financial assistance. So the fear is that those who have been trained and organized as co-ops will have no capital to start with. And this is the reason why we are inputting the amount of 300 million to allow them to
Yes,
start.
yes, 300 million nga, but will it now fall under which of the two? Or we are coming up with a new project, an entirely new project?
I believe that this will probably be a brand-new project,
sige.
given the very clear-cut priorities of the administration for food and transport.
Yes, oo nga. Basta, ang kailangan natin tandaan doon is the nature of a financial assistance, and then the recipients would be food, agri, transport co-ops. Yun ang,
That's correct.
Yun ang
That's
kailangan natin
the
tandaan.
perception.
Okay, so I wanted just to clarify that. Pero siguro, I just got bothered with the points earlier raised, no, na sana hindi kayo mapasukan ng politika. Okay, kasi pag pumasok ang politika sa co-op, hindi kayo co-op, wala, the co-op will disintegrate actually because of politics eh. So the leader or the regulatory, the model for co-ops, which is the CDA, wag din kayong pasukan ng politika. Kaya yung mga allegations na gano'n, nakakalungkot at sana nga hindi totoo na you are regulating, you are calling the attention of a certain entity because meron kayong personal grudge or whatever personal issues. Dapat kaya ninyong hiwalayin sa sarili ninyo yon. Unless you did not come from the co-op movement. Did all of you come from the co-op movement? All the leadership of the CDA, yan ang importante because iba po ang characteristic ng cooperator. Opo. Iba po ang characteristic po nila. So just
Ang sabi po nila, takot na takot sila sa party list.
Sige, ganun lang po. Just a reminder sana, pero medyo, the mere fact na na-raise yun, ibig sabihin nun na umaabot na, yung noise umaabot na to the level na it's becoming credible or believable. So, by your actions, pakita ninyo na hindi totoo yung mga istorya na yon, yung mga kwento na yon. Okay? So, tinitingnan ko naman kayo. I looked at the names of the leadership. Wala namang diyang outright na politiko. Okay? Okay? Unless si Penny, nakilala ko yung nag-ambisyon, no? Hindi na. Matagal na po si Penny, nagpaiwan na sa cooperative movement. So,
Wala na, tumanda na po
yes,
sa...
tumanda na. Sasabihin ko,
Nakalbo na rin.
sasabihin ko sana yun, in his younger years, kung may ambisyon man siya noon, ngayon definitely wala na. So keep it that way, no? Para yung CDA talaga would be a developmental body as well as a regulatory body. But pagdating sa regulatory, kasi may adjudicatory din kayo, you really like court with the integrity of a court. Okay, so maraming salamat po and we wish you all the best. So thank you to our chairwoman. Thank you.
Mr. President, there being no other reservation for interpellation, very hard to multitask as a presiding officer and a majority leader as well.
Should I leave the post, Your Honor?
I might as well be the committee chairperson to preside. There
ask
being no other
questions too.
interpellator, I move that the budget of the Cooperative Development Authority be deemed submitted for the body's consideration. I so move, Mr.
Is
President.
there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion of the majority leader is hereby carried. Congratulations to us.
Minute suspension.
Session suspended for a minute.